that. We know this. We know this is Capernaum. We know that Peter lived in Capernaum. Yes, no. The picture says it. This is geographically the place, and that is the house of Peter. When you have that kind of find, this is not just. There was nothing else in any other insulas, none whatsoever. Now let me talk about something else. You know, we were in Nazareth, where Jesus was going to be thrown off the precipice of the hill. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did he go? He came here. Why? Remember, Jesus was human. He had two friends here. He had Basilius, who was the mayor, whose son he cured, came back from the dead. Okay, and he had him, and he had the centurion, who cured his servant. He wasn't living there at the time. He had two good friends. Plus, the other fact is, if he went to Judea, he would have been crucified immediately, because the people in Judea were black and white. Here, Galilee, Galil Goyim, surrounded by Gentiles, open to listen to what God is telling them. New ideas. You don't do that in Jerusalem, boy. It's either one way or the other. So he knew, look, I have two friends. I'm going to come up here and live and preach the gospel, which he did, and they were ready to listen. Also, remember this. The apostles, the first disciples, listen, the people in this town were considered, what do you call it? What are those derogatory? Country bumpkins?
Deplorables.
Deplorables, yeah. They're deplorables, man. These people living here, they were just ignorant people. They even had their own language here, their own dialect. So anybody coming from this area had to be, what's going on? But what happens? There's social consciousness here. John walks up to the high priest's house. Doors open. If you're a hick and you're a nobody, how were the doors opened? He had to know some people. Okay? It goes back to this other point. What is Jesus, what do they, when they get all the fish, what do the guys say? They called for the hired help. They're peasants. They're peasants. Yeah. What hired help are you talking about? What I'm trying to say is, I bet you Andrew and Peter and James and John had a mutual fishing venture. And they were probably well-to-do people. And look, these well-to-do people left God, left their families and followed Jesus. So it's not just, they're peasants. There's more things you think about. And then what about the James and John's mother? What did she say to Jesus?
One sit on the right, one sit on the left.
When you get into your kingdom, it's one sit on the right, one sit on the left. That's social consciousness. You're a peasant. You're nothing. You just stay in the dirt and the water and do your thing. So I think, my guess is these people were not just ordinary peasants, that they were respectable people, that they had some money, and they were professional people. So where does that go? That's up to anybody who wants to think what the whole thing happened. I can't say what I'm saying is exactly, but based on what I've shared with you, I think it was just that. So what we have here has been built up all these years. We're going to go into the church upstairs, and on the top you look down and you will see the rounded area, okay, the house of Peter inside, and the walkway coming into the door, which is, there's no archway. And I'll tell you how I know this is true. About 8 years ago, before it was built, I was allowed, they don't allow anybody to do that, but I was allowed to go down there and pray and take pictures. And I was taking pictures of the entry door. Now somebody gave me a very, very expensive camera, modeling things every 3 seconds, 2 seconds, click, 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 click. So I was clicking, and later on when I got developed, everything was up, there was no cover, it was sunny as heck. And as I was looking at the pictures, the one picture, I could say, well, Jesus is probably walking through this door, there was a big cloud. This is 2 seconds later, it's sunny. The same thing was click, 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 you know how they go.
Yeah.
And it was our Lord, it was the Spirit of our Lord. I was praying, just imagining. I didn't see him, but what is that cloud? All of a sudden, in 2 seconds, another one is sunny, cloud, sunny. There were no other clouds there, etc. in the picture. So it was a real gift for me from God. Do you have any pictures or comments about anything so far? Okay. So what we're going to do is go into the church, look down. This is where I took, of course, President Bush and Condoleezza Rice around this whole area, and also in the synagogue, and it was a lot of fun.
When President Trump visits, will you be giving
Oh,
a tour?
I will be right there. I will be right there.